The massive alien ship appeared without warning. One moment, Earth's skies were clear. The next, a vessel larger than any human-made structure hung above New York. It gleamed like polished silver in the morning sun. Lieutenant Daniel Hayes stood on the deck of the naval carrier, binoculars trained upward. His hands were steady, but his heart raced. After years of wondering if humans were alone in the universe, they had their answer. His radio crackled. "Lieutenant, report to the command center immediately." Inside, screens showed the alien vessel from different angles. Military personnel rushed around, voices tense but controlled. Admiral Wilson pointed to a blinking light on the main screen. "They're broadcasting something." On all frequencies. The speakers hummed to life, and a deep voice filled the room. The words were in perfect English. "People of Earth, we are representatives of the Galactic Council. We come in peace and wish to establish formal relations with your world. Please send your delegates to these coordinates." Lisa Morgan, the diplomatic advisor assigned to the carrier, stepped forward. "This is our first contact scenario. We need to respond carefully." Within hours, the president announced that Earth would send representatives. Lisa and Daniel were among those chosen, due to their proximity to the landing site. The landing team gathered on a cleared field outside the city. Daniel stood straight in his dress uniform, while Lisa reviewed notes on her tablet. 5 other experts waited nearby: a scientist, a linguist, a military general, a cultural expert, and a medical doctor. The small shuttle that descended from the mothership was elegant and silent. Its doors opened without a sound, revealing 3 tall figures. The aliens had humanoid shapes, but blue-tinted skin and large, intelligent eyes. The one in front stepped forward. "I am Ambassador Zorax of the Taurian Federation, senior member of the Galactic Council. We have observed your planet for some time." Lisa stepped forward and performed the greeting they had planned. "Earth welcomes you in peace. I am Lisa Morgan, diplomatic advisor to the United Nations." Daniel noticed something in the alien's expression, a slight twitch, almost like amusement. The alien's eyes moved over the human delegation, pausing briefly on their technology. "Your species has achieved much in a short time," Zorax said, "though you are still in your technological infancy." The meeting continued for hours. The aliens explained that the Galactic Council included over 50 spacefaring species. Earth was being invited to join as a provisional member. Later, as the human team discussed the meeting, Daniel voiced his concerns. "Did anyone else notice how they looked at our equipment? Like an adult watching a child play with toys?" Lisa nodded. "I caught that too. They're advanced, yes, but that doesn't justify looking down on us." "They mentioned technological exchange programs," said the scientist, Dr. Bell, "but only after a probation period." Daniel frowned. "Convenient. They get to study us, but we have to wait for anything useful." "What choice do we have?" Lisa asked. "We're talking about technology that's centuries beyond ours." The president's call came 3 days later. Daniel and Lisa were selected as part of Earth's first delegation to the Galactic Council headquarters. They would leave on the alien vessel in 1 week. As Daniel packed his bags in his small apartment, he looked at the stars through his window. They had always represented possibility to him. Now they represented reality and potential danger. The night before departure, Lisa visited him. "Are you ready?" she asked. "For a journey to an alien political center where we'll represent all of humanity." "Sure, no pressure." Lisa smiled slightly. "I've been studying their messages carefully. They're hiding something. The way they talk about other new species, it's not respectful." Daniel nodded. "We need to be careful. Don't show weakness. Or too much strength," Lisa cautioned. "We don't want to appear threatening." The next morning, they boarded the shuttle along with 10 other human delegates. As Earth grew smaller below them, Daniel wondered what awaited them among the stars. One thing was certain: humanity was stepping onto a much larger stage, and not everyone in the audience was friendly. The journey to the Galactic Council station took 3 days in the alien ship. Daniel spent hours looking out the viewing ports at the streaks of light as they traveled faster than any human had gone before. Lissa used the time to study the information packages the Taurians had provided about Council protocols. When they arrived, the human delegation fell silent in awe. The Council station orbited a gas giant in the Alpha Centauri system. It was shaped like a massive wheel with spokes extending from a central hub. Hundreds of ships moved around it like bees around a hive. "It's bigger than Manhattan," whispered Daniel as their shuttle approached. A blue-skinned Taurian named Kelmer met them at the docking bay. "Follow me to your quarters. The Council session begins in 6 hours. You should rest." Their rooms were small but comfortable. The air smelled slightly sweet. Daniel noticed that everything seemed built for beings taller than humans. Lisa gathered the delegation before the meeting. "Remember, we represent all of Earth. Be respectful, but confident." When they entered the Council chamber, Daniel's jaw dropped. The room was enormous, with rising tiers of seats filled with beings of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost human. Others were so alien he could barely understand what he was seeing. Their Taurian guide led them to seats marked with Earth's symbol. Daniel noticed these seats were lower than others and set apart. The session opened with Speaker Granok, a tall gray-skinned alien with 4 arms, calling for order. His voice boomed through the chamber without any visible microphone. "Today, we welcome representatives from Sol 3, known to its inhabitants as Earth," Granok announced. "They are granted provisional species status, Category 7. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Daniel leaned toward Lisa. "Is that good?" She frowned slightly. "It's the lowest rank." A reptilian delegate stood up. "Speaker, I question whether these humans are ready for even provisional status. Their technology is primitive. They have only recently discovered nuclear fission." Daniel felt his face grow hot as laughter rippled through the chamber. Another delegate, a being with metallic skin, spoke next. "The Taurian reports indicate they still fight wars among themselves. They've barely achieved unity." Lisa stood up, her posture straight. "If I may address the Council." Speaker Granok waved a hand. "The Earth delegate may speak briefly. Humanity has made great progress in the last century. We've overcome many challenges and are eager to learn from the Council." A small insectoid being chittered from across the chamber. "Learning requires capacity. 2 humans have this capacity." More laughter followed. Daniel clenched his fists. The session continued with discussion of border disputes between species Daniel had never heard of. When Earth's delegation raised concerns about their own system's security, Speaker Granok dismissed them. "Earth has nothing valuable enough to be threatened. Your provisional status includes basic protection." Later, Earth's request for technological assistance was formally presented. The Council voted quickly. "Request denied," Granok announced. "Provisional species must demonstrate stability for at least 1 standard cycle before technology exchange can begin." As they left the chamber, Daniel overheard 2 Taurians talking. "These humans are even more backward than reported. Did you see their communication devices?" "Yes. Primitive electronic systems. They still use physical interface controls." Daniel pretended not to hear, but his mind was racing. In the corridor, he pulled Lisa aside. "They're not just dismissive. They're actively blocking us from advancement." Lisa nodded. "I noticed something else. The Dronari delegates were watching us closely. They're said to be the oldest species in the Council." "What do you think that means?" "I'm not sure, but we need allies here." That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He wandered the station's public areas, observing the different species. In a dimly lit corner, he spotted a group of delegates huddled together, including the reptilian who had mocked humans earlier. He moved closer, staying hidden behind a large pillar. "Perfect opportunity," the reptilian was saying. "The humans have resources we can use. Their system is in a strategic location. But the protection protocols," another voice said, "can be worked around. They're only provisional. If we move carefully." Daniel backed away slowly. He needed to tell Lisa what he'd heard. The council might be mocking humanity now, but some members had more dangerous plans in mind. Back on Earth, NASA engineer Kimberly Wright sat in a secured underground lab, surrounded by screens filled with data, pieces of alien technology, collected from various sources since first contact, lay on tables around her. She had barely slept in 3 days. "Found anything new?" asked Eric Porter as he entered the room. The military strategist carried 2 cups of coffee, placing one beside Kimberly. "Yes," she said, pointing to a scan of an alien power cell. "Look at this. Their shield systems draw power in predictable patterns. There's a pulse, then a 3-second gap before the next one." Eric leaned closer. "A weakness?" "Potentially. Their tech is advanced, but not as efficient as it could be. They've relied on the same systems for centuries without much innovation." This underground facility, hidden beneath an ordinary office building in Colorado, housed Earth's secret response to alien contact. While the public knew about the diplomatic mission to the Council, they didn't know about this project. In another room, Dr. Alan Ross led a team studying the propulsion systems from a small alien probe that had accidentally crashed on Earth a month earlier. The aliens had dismissed it as space debris, but Earth's scientists knew better. "They're arrogant," Dr. Ross told his team. "They think we can't understand their technology, so they're careless." The team had made remarkable progress combining Earth's best technology with reverse-engineered alien concepts. Hybrid weapons, shields, and communication systems were already in testing phases. "Admiral Mills wants an update by tomorrow," Eric reminded Kimberly as he studied her findings. "The Security Council meets next week." Since the aliens arrived, Earth's nations had put aside their differences. The old rivalries seemed small compared to the potential threats from space. A unified Earth Defense Force had formed, combining the best military minds and resources from all countries. Meanwhile, on the Council station, Daniel and Lisa continued attending sessions, enduring the barely hidden contempt of the established species. But they were gathering valuable intelligence. Daniel had made contact with representatives from other newer species who felt similarly marginalized. Lisa had carefully cultivated a relationship with a junior Dronari diplomat who occasionally shared useful information. Neither of them knew about the secret work back on Earth. That information was too sensitive to risk, even through the encrypted channels they used to report back. The Taurians had assigned an observer named Selnar to monitor Earth's activities. The slender blue alien spent most days watching human television broadcasts, internet traffic, and public communications. "These humans are amusing," Zelnar reported to Ambassador Zorax. "They spend much time on entertainment and trivial matters. Their military technology is primitive compared to even the lowest council races." "Any signs of unusual activity?" Zorax asked. "None. They appear to be exactly what they seem, harmless primitives excited by their new place in the galaxy." Zorax nodded, satisfied. "Continue monitoring. The Council remains concerned about their unpredictable nature, but I believe they pose no threat." What Selnar didn't know was that Earth's most important communications and activities had gone dark, running on systems the aliens couldn't detect. The observer was seeing only what Earth wanted to show. In a meeting room deep beneath the Pentagon, Admiral Sandra Mills reviewed the latest reports from Kimberly's team. "How soon can we implement these findings?" she asked the scientists present. "The shield countermeasures could be ready within 3 months," Kimberly answered. "The weapons systems might take longer." "We may not have that much time," the admiral replied, pointing to satellite images showing unusual activity near Neptune. "Our deep space telescopes detected these ships yesterday. They're not Taurian. Based on the descriptions from our delegates, they match vessels belonging to a species called the Draconians." She zoomed in on the image. The ships were dark and angular, bristling with what looked like weapons. Eric studied the image. "Are they heading for Earth?" "Not directly, but they're scanning our system intensively." Dr. Ross looked up from the images. Then we need to accelerate the timeline. My team will work around the clock if necessary. Outside their secure facility, the world continued as normal. Citizens looked to the stars with hope and excitement, unaware of the dangers lurking there or of Earth's growing ability to face those dangers. Daniel watched with growing anger as the reptilian draconian representative addressed the council. The large-scaled alien stood confidently at the speaker's platform, its yellow eyes gleaming under the bright lights. Earth is rich in many rare minerals and metals, the draconian said, yet the humans use these resources inefficiently. As an established council race, we draconians petition for mining rights in their system. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Daniel looked at Lisa, whose face had gone pale. They can't just take our resources, he whispered. Speaker Granach raised a hand for silence. The council will consider the petition. Earth representatives may speak. Lisa stood, her voice steadier than Daniel expected. Earth's resources belong to humanity. We do not grant permission for any mining operations in our system. The draconian representative made a sound like steam escaping from a kettle. The provisional species does not understand. These resources benefit the entire council. Their limited technology barely scratches the surface of what their planet offers. Several council members nodded in agreement. Daniel felt sick as he realized how many seemed to support the draconians. Later, in their quarters, Lisa paced while Daniel searched through the council records they had access to. Here, he said finally, the draconians have done this before. They claimed mining rights on 3 other worlds belonging to newly admitted species. In each case, they eventually took over the entire planet. Colonization under the guise of mining, Lisa said. And worse, the native species were either relocated or enslaved. They brought their findings to a council session the next day, presenting evidence of the draconians' true intentions. But the council majority dismissed their concerns. Humans are paranoid due to their violent history, one member commented, drawing laughter. On Earth, Admiral Mills received Daniel and Lisa's urgent message. She immediately called a meeting with the defense team. The draconians are moving, she told them, pointing to new images on the screen. 3 larger ships have joined the ones near Neptune. They're not hiding anymore. Kimberly stood up. We've analyzed their communication signals. They use a different technology than the Taurians, but we found similar vulnerabilities. How ready are our defenses? The Admiral asked. Eric brought up a map of Earth's orbit. The satellite network is at 70% capacity. The lunar-based defenses are operational but untested. What about the Defiant? Asked Dr. Ross. Admiral Mills nodded to a technician who displayed an image of a sleek ship unlike any publicly known Earth vessel. Ready for launch. Captain John Reeves and his crew have completed training. The U.S. Defiant was humanity's secret flagship, built using a combination of advanced Earth technology and reverse-engineered alien systems. Its existence was known only to a handful of people. Back at the council, Daniel and Lisa made one final appeal. They requested formal protection under council law, citing the draconian threat. Speaker Granach seemed almost amused. The council finds no credible threat to Earth at this time. The draconian petition for mining rights is approved with limitations. We protest this decision, Lisa said firmly. Your protest is noted, Granach replied dismissively. Next matter. As they left the chamber, a small dronary approached them. The ancient species rarely spoke directly to newer members. Your world is in danger, the dronary whispered. The council will not help you. Why are you telling us this? Daniel asked. We were once like you, dismissed and exploited. Watch the draconians carefully. They do not come only for minerals. That night, Daniel and Lisa sent an encrypted message to Earth. Council protection denied. Draconian threat confirmed. Prepare for contact. 3 days later, the draconian fleet began moving toward Earth. Their path was direct, and their intentions clear. The scout ships had been recalled to join the main fleet. In the council chamber, the news was delivered casually. Most members seemed unconcerned. Some even expressed interest in how quickly the humans would surrender. Only the Dronari representatives watched in silence, their ancient eyes showing something Daniel hadn't seen from any other species in the Council: respect for humanity's coming trial. On Earth, Admiral Mills received word of the approaching fleet. She turned to her communication officer. "Send the signal. Operation First Strike is now active." Around the world, hidden facilities powered up. The waiting was over. The Draconian fleet moved through space with confidence. Their 7 large warships and 15 smaller vessels formed an attack formation as they passed Mars. On their command ship, General Krask watched the blue planet grow larger on the view screen. "Pathetic," he said to his officers. "The humans have only a few primitive satellites and a handful of orbital stations. This will be simple." What Krask didn't see were the hundreds of small, stealthed platforms that had been placed throughout Earth's solar system in the months since first contact. These platforms, designed by Kimberly and her team, were invisible to the scanning technology used by Council races. In the Council chamber, a special session had been called to observe the Draconian approach to Earth. Many members were treating it like entertainment. "How quickly do you think they'll surrender?" asked a Veloxian delegate to his companion. "I give them 1 day. "Less," replied the other alien. "They have no real weapons." Daniel and Lisa sat quietly in their seats, watching the large display that showed the Draconian fleet. They knew what was coming, but kept their faces worried and afraid. On Earth, Captain John Reeves sat in the command chair of the U.S. Defiant. The ship was hidden on the far side of the moon, along with 5 smaller vessels, Earth's secret defense fleet. "All systems ready," Captain reported his first officer. Reeves nodded. "Maintain stealth mode. Wait for Admiral Mills' signal." In her command center beneath the Pentagon, Admiral Mills watched as the Draconian fleet entered Earth's orbital space. "They're taking the bait," she said. "They think our orbital stations are our only defense." The Draconians sent a message to Earth, broadcast on all frequencies. "People of Earth, this is General Krask of the Draconian Empire. Your planet is now under our control. Surrender immediately or face destruction. You have 1 hour to comply." Around the world, people watched the message in fear. They didn't know about Earth's preparations. Admiral Mills waited 30 minutes, then sent a reply. "This is Admiral Mills of Earth's Defense Force. We request more time to consider your terms." General Krask laughed. "You have 30 more minutes. No more." As soon as the communication ended, Mills gave the order. "Activate defense grid now." Throughout the solar system, the hidden platforms came to life. They weren't weapons. They were something much more clever. Dr. Ross had discovered that alien shield systems could be disrupted by specific energy patterns. The platforms began emitting these patterns, targeted precisely at the Draconian fleet. On the Draconian ships, alarms sounded. "Shield failure," shouted an officer on Krask's bridge. "Unknown energy field is destabilizing our systems." Krask roared in anger. "Impossible. Begin the attack now." The Draconian ships fired on Earth's orbital stations, but before their weapons could reach them, Admiral Mills gave her next command. "Captain Reeves, you have permission to engage." The U.S. Defiant and its escort ships emerged from behind the moon, engines glowing with a new type of propulsion that gave them speed no Earth vessel had shown before. They moved faster than the Draconians could track. In the Council chamber, gasps filled the room as the display showed the human ships. "Where did those come from?" demanded Speaker Granach. "Their design is impossible for humans." The Defiant fired its main weapons, hybrid systems that combined Earth's best missile technology with energy concepts learned from alien tech. The shots bypassed the weakened Draconian shields completely. 2 Draconian ships exploded immediately. The others tried to regroup, but Earth's vessels moved with surprising agility, dodging return fire while continuing their precise attacks. "This is Captain John Reeves of the U.S. Defiant." Reeves broadcast to the Draconian fleet. "You are in violation of Earth's sovereign space. Withdraw immediately or be destroyed. General Krask was furious. Never. All ships, focus fire on their flagship. But the draconian weapons were less effective than expected. The Defiance shields, based on a completely different concept than Council technology, held firm. The battle continued around Earth's moon, with the smaller human fleet outmaneuvering the larger draconian force at every turn. 3 more draconian ships fell before General Krask finally gave the order to retreat. As the remaining draconian vessels fled back toward Mars, stunned silence filled the Council chamber. The display showed the intact human fleet in formation near Earth's moon, with the debris of 5 draconian warships floating nearby. Speaker Granach turned to look at Daniel and Lisa, who now allowed themselves small smiles. "How?" was all he could ask. "Humanity has hidden strengths," Lisa replied calmly. "Perhaps the Council should reconsider its assessment of Earth." The Council chamber erupted in chaos after the battle. Species that had ignored or mocked humans now shouted questions and demands. Daniel and Lisa stood calmly in the center of the storm. "The Council will come to order." Speaker Granach's voice boomed over the noise. When the room finally quieted, he fixed his 4 eyes on the human delegates. "Explain yourselves. How did Earth develop such technology without the Council's knowledge?" Lisa stepped forward, her voice clear and confident. "Earth did what any species would do when denied protection. We protected ourselves. Those ships used technology beyond your development level," accused a Taurian delegate. "We learned quickly," Daniel replied simply. "While you all laughed at us, we studied. We adapted. We combined our ideas with what we could learn from observing Council technology." Lisa held up a data device. "We have something more important to discuss. Evidence that certain Council members knew of the draconian plan to invade Earth from the beginning." The chamber went silent. Lisa connected her device to the main display system. Documents, communications, and meeting records appeared on the large screen. "We discovered that 3 Council species secretly supported the Draconians. They planned to share Earth's resources after we were conquered." The evidence was clear. Communications between the Draconians and representatives from the Veloxians, the Brack Collective, and even some Taurians showed a conspiracy. They had deliberately blocked Earth's requests for protection while helping plan the invasion. "This violates the Council's founding charter," Lisa continued. "All member species are guaranteed protection from aggression." An elder Dronari moved to the center of the chamber, joints creaking with age. "The humans are correct. This betrayal cannot stand." Speaker Granach looked uncomfortable. "What does Earth want from the Council now?" "Revenge." "Recognition," Daniel answered. "Earth demands full member status, not provisional. We have proven ourselves." Arguments broke out across the chamber. Many species still didn't want to accept humans as equals. Others were impressed by Earth's unexpected strength. After hours of debate, a vote was called. By a narrow margin, Earth was granted full member status. The conspirators were placed under investigation. As Daniel and Lisa left the chamber, delegates who had ignored them before now approached with greetings and questions. One was a small, furry being named Rawl, from a species called the Minari. "We too were once provisional," Rawl said quietly. "We have endured the Council's prejudice for decades. How did your people advance so quickly?" "We work well under pressure," Lisa answered with a smile. Later, in a private meeting room, Daniel met with representatives from 6 other recently admitted species. All had faced similar treatment from the established Council races. "Earth stands with you," he told them. "Together, we can push for fair treatment for all species, regardless of their technological development." Meanwhile, Lisa discovered something disturbing in the Council's restricted archives. She had gained access due to Earth's new status. What she found alarmed her deeply. "Daniel, look at this," she said when they reunited in their quarters. "The dominant Council species have been suppressing technological development across the galaxy for centuries." She showed him records of how promising species had been kept dependent on Council technology, never allowed to develop their own paths. "It's all about control," Daniel realized. They make everyone follow their technological approach, their rules. There's more, Lisa said. Dr. Ross sent a secure message. Earth scientists have made another breakthrough. Sustainable fusion technology that outperforms anything in the Council database. Daniel looked out at the stars visible from their window. So we have a choice. Keep our advances secret, or share them with the others who've been held back. The Council won't like that, Lisa warned. Sharing advanced technology with provisional species is forbidden. Maybe it's time for new rules, Daniel replied. Earth was ready to stand alone if needed, but we might accomplish more by leading an alliance. That night, Daniel drafted a proposal that would become known as the Hayes Protocol, a framework for technology sharing among all species, challenging the Council's monopoly on advancement. As he worked, urgent messages arrived from Earth. The Draconians had complained to their allies on the Council. Some were calling for sanctions against humanity for their deception. Others wanted access to Earth's new technology. The battle was over, but the larger conflict was just beginning. 2 weeks after Earth gained full Council membership, the political landscape had changed dramatically. The Council was now clearly divided into two factions. On one side stood the traditional powers, the Taurians, Veloxians, and their allies, species that had dominated galactic politics for centuries. On the other side were Earth and a growing alliance of newer and previously marginalized species. Daniel walked into the Council chamber for what promised to be a tense session. The Hayes Protocol was up for discussion. Already, 17 species had expressed support. This proposal threatens the stability of our galactic community, Speaker Granach began. Unrestricted technology sharing would lead to chaos. Stability or stagnation. Daniel countered when it was his turn to speak. For too long, the Council has controlled which species can advance, and how quickly. The debate grew heated. The Taurian ambassador Zorax stood, his blue skin darkening with anger. Earth has been a Council member for mere days, yet seeks to overturn traditions that have maintained peace for millennia. Peace for some, replied Rawl of the Minari, now Earth's closest ally. Subservience for others. After hours of argument, no resolution was reached. The Hayes Protocol remained under consideration, neither approved nor rejected. As Daniel left the chamber, he was approached by a Dronari elder. You walk a dangerous path, human. The old powers will not surrender their advantages easily. We don't seek conflict, Daniel assured him. Only fairness. The two often travel together, the ancient alien replied. Back on Earth, progress continued at a remarkable pace. Dr. Ross and Kimberly Wright had achieved another breakthrough with their fusion technology. It was not only more powerful than anything the Council races used, but also cleaner and more sustainable. The timing is perfect, Admiral Mills told them during a video conference with Daniel and Lisa. Several Council species have requested scientific exchanges with Earth. And the Council Old Guard? Asked Dr. Ross. They're trying to isolate us politically, Lisa reported. The Taurians have canceled 3 scheduled meetings in the past week. Kimberly leaned forward. What they don't understand is that we're not following their technological path. We're creating something new by combining their concepts with our own approaches. Daniel nodded. That's exactly what scares them. They can't control what they don't understand. Later that day, Eric Porter brought concerning news to Admiral Mills. Earth's intelligence network, recently extended throughout the solar system, had detected unusual movements. Ships from multiple Council species are gathering near the edge of our system, he reported. Not just Draconians this time. Taurians and Veloxians too. Admiral Mills studied the data. Military vessels. Some. Others appear to be science ships. They seem to be setting up observation posts. Admiral Mills frowned. They want to study our defenses up close. Prepare the fleet. On the Council station, Lisa discovered that the Taurians were working to form a coalition against the Hayes Protocol. She overheard a conversation not meant for human ears. Earth must be contained, a Taurian diplomat was saying. Their influence spreads too quickly. 7 more species have expressed interest in their technology sharing program. What does Speaker Granach suggest? Asked Avaloxian. A more aggressive approach. The humans responded well to the draconian threat. Perhaps they need another reminder of their place. Lisa quietly recorded the conversation and sent it to Daniel, who was meeting with representatives from their growing alliance. They're planning something, she warned him later. Possibly another military action. Daniel wasn't surprised. Our allies report similar rumors. The question is, will they act through proxies again or directly? Either way, we need to be ready, Lisa said. Earth has proven itself in battle, but we're still outnumbered. That evening, as they prepared for the next day's council session, an urgent message arrived from Captain Reeves. The U.S. Defiant had detected a large fleet assembling near Alpha Centauri, the closest star system to Earth. The fleet included ships from 6 different council races, all aligned with the traditional powers. This isn't just about technology anymore, Daniel realized. They want to make an example of us before other species follow our lead. Lisa nodded grimly. The council is dividing, and we're at the center of the split. The attack came without warning. 50 ships from the old council powers dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Earth's moon. They bypassed the outer system defenses by using previously unknown jump coordinates. On Earth, Admiral Mills activated the emergency broadcast system. All defense units to battle stations. This is not a drill. The Orbital Shield Network, Earth's most advanced defense system, powered up for the first time. Designed by Dr. Ross and Kimberly, it created a protective energy field around the entire planet. In space, Captain Reeves and the U.S. Defiant led Earth's fleet to meet the attackers. They were outnumbered 5-1. Hold the line, Reeves ordered his ships. Help is coming. At the council station, chaos erupted when news of the attack reached them. Daniel stood before the chamber, his voice rising above the noise. This unprovoked aggression violates every principle the Council claims to uphold. Earth has broken no laws. Speaker Granach tried to maintain order. The Coalition acts to protect Council stability from Earth's disruptive influence. You mean to protect your power, Lisa shot back. But you've miscalculated. As she spoke, ships from 17 species, all allies of Earth, jumped into the battle near Alpha Centauri. They had been waiting, prepared for this moment. The Minari delegate Rawl announced to the stunned chamber. The Alliance of Free Worlds stands with Earth. On the main view screen, the battle unfolded. Earth's smaller fleet used tactics never seen before in Council space. They moved in unpredictable patterns, their shields absorbing hits that should have destroyed them. Captain Reeves' voice came over the Council communication system. Attention attacking fleet. Earth's orbital shield network is now active. Your weapons cannot penetrate it. Stand down immediately. The Coalition ships ignored the warning and fired their most powerful weapons at Earth. The shots hit the shield and dissipated completely. Kimberly and Eric watched from their command center on Earth. The shield is holding at 97%, Kimberly reported, just as we calculated. Admiral Mills nodded. Now show them our real strength. Captain Reeves, you may deploy Phase 2. The U.S. Defiant and 3 escort ships broke formation and accelerated toward the center of the enemy fleet. They activated a new system that no other ship in the galaxy possessed, a localized disruption field that temporarily disabled any technology within range. Enemy ships suddenly found their weapons and engines failing. In the confusion, Earth's allies attacked from behind. In the council chamber, the view screen showed the Coalition fleet breaking apart under the combined assault. How is this possible? Demanded a Taurian representative. Daniel stepped forward. We tried to share our advances peacefully through the Haze Protocol. You chose conflict instead. The battle lasted only 40 minutes. When it ended, 15 Coalition ships had been destroyed, 20 were disabled, and the rest had retreated. Earth's fleet had lost only 2 small vessels. The Council remained in shocked silence as Daniel addressed them again. The old order of the Council is over. Earth proposes a new beginning, a galactic assembly where all species have equal voice regardless of their technological development. One by one, representatives from Earth's allied species stood in support. They now formed a clear majority. Speaker Granach, seeing the inevitable, stepped down from his position. The Council recognizes the will of its members. The transition to a galactic assembly will begin immediately. 3 days later, in the newly renamed Assembly Hall, Daniel Hayes was appointed as Earth's first High Ambassador. The Hayes Protocol was adopted as the foundation for a new era of cooperation. As Daniel looked out at the gathered representatives of nearly 70 species, he remembered how the Council had once mocked humanity. Now they understood Earth's true power, not just advanced technology, but the ability to unite others around a vision of equality and shared progress. Lisa joined him on the observation deck afterward, looking out at the stars. "What do you think happens now?" she asked. Daniel smiled. "Now we do what humans have always done best. We adapt, we grow, and we bring others with us." In Earth's solar system, the first interspecies research facility opened on Mars, where scientists from 20 different worlds worked together on new technologies. The species that had once looked down on humanity now sought to learn from them, not just how to build better ships or weapons, but how to overcome limitations they had accepted for centuries. Earth had shown the galaxy a different path forward, and in doing so, had transformed from the mockery of the Council to the heart of a new galactic era.